What's up team, welcome to the video. I'm a huge fan of these videos where I reply to your comments. I'm going to try to keep it to one per week, but in the last few videos there's so many comments that I want to reply to. We're going to do another one right now. Let's go. Mike, can you give advice to a first-time bulker like myself that's always been in a cutting phase? I'm not afraid of gaining because I know this is necessary for my long-term physique, but I kind of find it tedious to be in a surplus, ironically, since my attention kind of shifted towards school and life, so progress goes slow. Should I just be chill about it or think of myself as an athlete that must eat in order to enhance performance kind of mindset? So the first thing I'm going to say is that you are in an incredibly advantageous position because most dudes, most people, but I have found it more relevant in men who have only been cutting and who have made progress, who have gone from not lean to lean, and then when they try to bulk for the first time, there are real psychological hangups. I won't talk about that here since you said you're good there. I would say treating it like an athlete who needs the food in order to perform. If you struggle to eat above your maintenance levels, you are going to have to bring a serious mindset to the table, treating it with as much discipline and as much focus and intent as the effort it would take to be in a deficit to lose fat. Apply that same mindset to being in a surplus. Now, to take things down a level and get out of the clouds and into some practicality, liquid calories, so drinking juice with a meal is an effective way to get carbs, to get calories for someone who's a hard gainer, for someone who has trouble getting enough calories, for someone who the time and annoyance of eating that much food via rice and potatoes and bananas and other carb sources. Liquid calories make sense. I think that trying to get protein plus carb in soon after you wake up and soon before going to sleep is very effective for hard gainers, mainly because what it does is it extends your total window for the day that you're getting food in, which is going to, in my experience, allow higher meal frequency. Just lets you get more food in for the day. I also think making a few days of meal plans that really fit your life is a really good exercise and is an amazing high ROI way to spend 3 hours of your time. So on a Sunday afternoon, sit down with some caffeine and really think about your day. Here's what a Monday through Friday looks like. Here's my class schedule. Here's when I like to do work. Here's when I like to work out. Here are the times I sleep. And then from there saying, okay, I can get 4 meals in and then I'll have a shake after my workout here. It's a spider. So, perfect day of meal plan. Make a few of them. Really look at your lifestyle and your schedule and lay out when you'll have meals. And this doesn't have to be perfect, right? Like, you need some uncertainty in your life just from a contentment and happiness perspective, but look at when you can eat and in what quantities you will eat so that you can get enough food in. And be realistic about it, right? Don't have a pound of chicken and 250 grams of carbs of rice for your dinner, because you're not going to sit there for 75 minutes and shovel all that food down. You're just going to quit on the meal. So spread things out, choose foods that you like, get a variety of dirty foods that you enjoy that are going to make the process right. You don't, oftentimes when we make a meal plan, we have a tendency to make it perfect, right? Like, I'm only eating fruits and vegetables and clean food sources. I'm cutting out all soda. I'm cutting out all candy. I'm cutting out ice cream, even though I love ice cream. Don't do that. Make it realistic. Get 10 to 20% of your calories from foods that you really enjoy, even if they're not the most healthy. And make a few of those plans and then follow the plan for a couple days, and you'll start to be able to make modifications. You'll realize that, oh, this chicken and vegetables and whatever that I said I was going to have for lunch really doesn't work because I'm on the go more often than I thought. So instead, I'll get a similar macro profile meal from Chipotle or from the the cafeteria buffet or whatever the case may be. One other quick note, intermittent fasting for bulking, yes, it's fine. For someone who struggles to get enough food in, it makes 0 sense. If you like intermittent fasting for your lifestyle and you can get enough calories in that window, great. All else equal, 4 meals a day spread out throughout the day versus getting all of your food in an 8-hour window for the purpose of muscle gain, intermittent fasting is inferior to spreading out your meals, because to maximize muscle protein synthesis, which is a component in gaining muscle, spreading your meals out or getting protein every 4 to 5 hours is going to be more beneficial than having having chunks of time longer than 4 to 5 hours when you're not getting any protein in. Algebra. 100% in for consistency over perfection. Sure, let's go. Mike, what do you think about Jaime's relapse? Personally impressed that he was able to admit his mistake and hopefully continue strong. Client of mine, Jaime Staples, one of the reasons that I'm in Costa Rica, had a night at our all-inclusive resort where we all stayed because we were escaping the storm, and it was that hotel was the only place in the entire area, it's about a half-hour north of here, that had power on the first night of the storm. So we checked in there, and then it was amazing, and we just extended another day, and we ended up staying there 4 nights. One of the nights after dinner, so 6:30 p.m., he got his normal meal in, a whole bunch of vegetables and some beef and some chicken, and that night there were additional life stressors. Ordered room service, and honestly it wasn't even that bad. Like a club sandwich, french fries, cheesecake, like blew calories for the day by, I don't know, 1,500 over what his targets were, and had a beer and some cigarettes, which he had quit smoking for a very long time. What do I think of his falling off? Every single person who has ever made any progress at anything screwed up along the way. I don't care who you are, like, everyone makes mistakes. So my thoughts on the falling off were really that I was just pumped that he told me right away. That's like what I liked most. He texted me, it was a late night text that I got from him. I was already asleep. But then the next morning we met up, went for a walk. You know, he told me what happened. We talked about why it might have happened. He shared some of the goals that he wanted to make, shorter term goals for the month of October to I think, condense the window of focus and have like something manageable right in front of him that he can achieve, all process-oriented goals. And yeah, so I was pumped about that. What I think about him sharing his mistake on Instagram, on Snapchat, what I told him was that I thought that a lot of the people who are trying to make the kind of progress that he's in the process of making and who are following along for motivation and to learn from and to be inspired by what he's doing, that him sharing that mistake would be incredibly beneficial for those people, just to really hear, like, you know, down 70 plus pounds, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows, and here's what happened last night and here's what I'm going to do about it. Like, I think that's incredibly valuable. So everyone falls off, and I was impressed by, I was excited that he told me right away, and I was impressed by his response to it. Do you think you've become more extroverted as you have become more fit? Is there a correlation between self-confidence and being extroverted? I don't know the answer to the second one. My Myers-Briggs is INTJ, but my Big 5 personality test by Jordan Peterson that I just took had me at like 80% extroversion. And do I think being extroverted as a result of becoming more fit? I don't know the answer to that. I didn't become extroverted as I didn't become more extroverted as I became more fit. I probably became more insecure as I became more fit, oddly enough, because I set the bar so high for myself, because I didn't know that every single person that you see on the internet, on magazines, everywhere is on steroids. So I was holding myself to an unrealistic standard. I think being in good shape plus being comfortable with not being perfect would increase, we'll call it self-confidence, because I don't know the link between self-confidence and extroversion. On the topic of Jordan Peterson's Big 5 personality test, had a few people asking for my results, had a few people asking about it. It's $10. The reason I'm gonna buy everything that dude puts out just because, yes. I took the test because I was very curious about where I would rank on the 5 factors, the 5 personality traits. I enjoyed taking the test. It's very fast. It's you rate yourself 1 to 5, like very likely, not like, or neutral, and then whatever, disagree, strongly disagree. Often when you take those tests, the description that you have to answer it can be long-winded, it can be a paragraph, and they're often not fun to take. This one was like 1 sentence, sometimes just 4 words. Like it's a very fast process, and I enjoyed taking the test. I'll throw these on the screen. I think I remember, I might get it wrong, but I'll throw these on the screen. I was high in industriousness, around 80%, or in the 80th percentile, which is basically capacity to get shit done. So I'm not super surprised with that. Agreeableness, I was actually fairly low, in the 32nd percentile. Neuroticism, I was in the middle, 56%, which is pretty accurate. Extroversion, around 80%, which that was the biggest surprise for me on the exam. I did not see that coming. And extroversion, agreeableness. I'll put them on the screen. A drug dealer just pulled up on you and tried to sell cocaine. That's on there. Yep. And so we had some back and forth. I'm helping him. I'm good, man. People seem to like yesterday's video. I'm glad. All right, we'll wrap things up here. Thank you guys very much for watching. See you.